Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So I'm sure the title I'm posting for this video is going to look a little clickbaity or at least get your attention. But today it's time for another honest talk relating to my injury and the whole journey that has come about because of it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to watch my other pretty dramatic video. I think it's titled Not Okay But Not Alone. Very dramatic title, but you know, when I posted that, I was really in one of the darkest times during my recovery, and I wasn't even sure if I would make it out, if I would dance again. For those of you who are new, I tore my patellar tendon very early this year, like in January, and then kept dancing on it like any ballerina does for like four months or something like that. And then other complications happened and my recovery process happened. It was like 3+ months, like 4 months, and still I posted the recovery update video, and I was much more positive in that, and I had started to dance again. I had a newfound sense of hope, and I was doing better, and that wasn't a lie, I really was. And I said I was going to be in the room dancing on the first day of the season with the company I dance with, and that was true, I did. And for the first 3 weeks, well, the first week I was on cloud 9, okay? I was so happy to be back dancing with my peers who I really care about and I love, and there was just so much energy and I was so happy. And we started Swan Lake rehearsals right off the bat, and I was very lucky to be put in the corps immediately, even though my director was aware of my injury situation and that I wasn't fully back yet. So I appreciated that opportunity. Then 3 weeks in, my pain was not only coming back, but it was at the level where it was almost more severe than some of the times, some days right before I started my recovery process, like when I was not caring for the injury at all. And I just knew in my heart that it's not, I knew that I would dance again and that I'm gonna be fine, but I also knew that I did not get enough treatment. For context also, I got PRP injections in my tendon to get it healed, and with this pain coming back, I was just really wondering if I even got the treatment I needed and if it even worked. And so I was extremely frustrated and devastated, and it finally reached a point where I think the beginning of the, oh no, it was really on the 3rd week, so I didn't last too long. It was a Tuesday morning, the night before. I was just really devastated that my pain was coming back. And the next morning I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep going, keep trying. I've pushed through a lot, I can do it, see what happens. And I was in the gym walking on the treadmill, like nothing crazy, just trying to get it moving, get the knee moving before I started the day. And I was having really sharp pains, and then something clicked. I knew I needed to go to the studio, immediately talk to the artistic staff, and go seek medical attention. I just knew that I couldn't keep going like that. And before I go on, I just want to say that I was really hesitant to talk about this. That was 2+ weeks ago at this point. Well, actually just about 2 weeks ago. And it's taken me this long to talk about it because I really just didn't have an idea of what was going on. I didn't know, there was just no nice way to put what was happening. And I do want to make clear to anyone who's injured and who's watching this video that you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to look all put together for the people who are around you, even when you're dying inside, okay? Let people in, let people know that it's not okay. And yeah, you're just gonna have to live with the fact that if people ask you how you're doing, don't just die to yourself inside and say, I'm fine, because you're not fine. But then also be comfortable enough with the fact that it is uncomfortable to say how you're doing. You don't have to like cry your eyeballs out and say, I'm really not doing well, but just say like, you know, not that great, this is coming back. And there might not be a nice resolution to that, and it makes the person who asked you really uncomfortable, but you've just got to sit in the truth, because acknowledging the truth is what helps you to move forward. And that's how I'm able to sit here with you today and not cry. This is not going to be a dramatic video, because you're going to see later on in the video that this is all positive and I'm headed in a very good direction. So anyway, 2 weeks ago, I just left the studio. I requested permission from the staff. The company manager was fully aware that I was going to seek medical attention, seeing doctors and all that. And from the second I left those doors that morning, I was going to be, as I call it, a tiger patient. I was taking my health into my own dang hands. I was going to get treatment as fast as possible. I was not waiting on anybody. So I left. I made a couple phone calls. I got into a clinic that very day to a doctor who prescribed me an MRI. I went into a walk-in clinic to get an MRI, or walk-in MRI place. So I got an MRI that very day, which is not common, but I was really determined, and if I was not going to be at the studios dancing or at least observing, I was going to be out there getting answers, because this has been a struggle of all year, basically from the start of 2017. I can't express to you how done I am dealing with this, and my heart really goes out to people who have dealt with injuries for longer, but I've also had pathologies, as doctors say, in this knee since I was 14 years old, and so I just don't have patience for it anymore. So I got an MRI that day, and the next day I got the results, and I was just really staying on top of it, calling the doctors. I was not trying to be disrespectful, but I was on their case, man. Like, I made it very clear how desperate I was in my situation, and I was not afraid to be in a consultation with a doctor or on the phone with a doctor saying that this is my life. So as soon as you can get the results, I'd like to know what they are. I wasn't shy, and so I would really recommend to anyone who's going through something like that, don't be shy. It's your life, and you can be in charge of it. So don't be afraid to, you know, more or less demand things of people. Now, don't be unpleasant, but be insistent. That is allowed. So then for the next couple of days, I talked to a few more doctors. I saw a surgeon who was recommended to me, and I just didn't end up getting a good feel with him. And I decided to go talk to somebody else. I knew that I wanted at least 2 opinions on my condition and on what the MRI results said. I knew that getting more than 3 opinions would be unwise, because I needed to just get 2 or 3 that I really trusted. The rest would get confusing, it would waste time, and it would cloud my judgment. And what I realized through this process is that I am the one that knows my body, okay? I've had doctors for years deal with me coming into the office, and I would always go to a different doctor, because of course I've moved over the last couple of years, and here and there I'd get little problems with my knee, but it was nothing like this. And so I would always bring up the option of maybe would arthroscopic surgery help me. I think there are different ways to say that word, like arthroscopic, a scope? We're just gonna call it a scope to be simple. I always say arthroscopic surgery, but I'm not sure that's how people say it. Anyway, whatever. I feel like I just made myself sound stupid. I'm not stupid, but it's just one of those people say differently. Anyway, so, and the doctors would always say, one after another, no, I really don't think you need that yet. I don't think it would help you. No, not yet. They would always just say not yet, or just no, I don't think that's going to help. And so over 5 years, I got 5 rounds of PRP injections. And this time, long story short, I got the MRI results back, and praise Jesus, my tendon is healed. That's amazing news. So I'm happy to tell you that I don't have to go back on the PRP injection video that I did and say, actually guys, no, it doesn't work. It did work, and that's amazing. But there was a secondary issue that has been ignored for 5 years. And that is what was causing me pain and all these problems. So I found out on the MRI results that the fat pad under my kneecap, well, it pads quite a bit of area or surface area in the knee. It's kind of just soft tissue that protects and pads the knee joint. Mine was extremely damaged and inflamed, and mine had been so chronically inflamed that my knee had actually been swollen for 5 years. And on top of the patellar tendon issue, it had really, really flared up. So by, let's see, I waited for a while, got the MRI results read, and within 1 week, I had another consultation with a doctor I trusted, and he scheduled me for surgery 2 days later. So within a week and a half, I go from leaving the studio to getting a simple arthroscopic surgery to clean out that fat pad. And so that was this past Friday. Today's Wednesday. I'm 5 days post-op, and I am so happy I did it, you guys. I'm so positive about that I did the right thing, that I sought out treatment, and that I wasn't afraid to stop and do what I needed to do to get better. Because I mean, I could stay dancing, I could stay suffering, I could shorten my career by making my problems worse, I could try to please other people, but in the end, I'm the one that has to go home and deal with the emotional and physical pain. So I'm just really glad I hit that breaking point and that I got this done. And I actually believe that, I mean, I don't want to say anything too soon, and I'm really not promising anything to people. I haven't even been telling people what the projected time frame is for my recovery, because I'm taking it every day and doing the best I can, and things are going really well. And I'm now learning that, and this is actually the reason it's taken me a while to talk about this, a while as in like 2 weeks since I stopped dancing. It's really dangerous to talk to too many people and be too open about what's going on, because I realize that, at least for me, the reality in my head was getting really twisted the more people I'd talk to. You know, I try to be such a positive person that it was actually getting really twisted, in that I felt a little bit better each time I could tell someone the best case scenario or the best part of what's going on with me, instead of the bad parts, or the parts that are making me hurt, and well, like emotionally and physically. And I wasn't giving people the whole picture, not like you always should, but the more people I talked to, the more the big picture was getting lost in my own mind. I stopped becoming okay with other realities that could be. You know, I was always so focused on the best case scenario that when it wouldn't happen, I was really upset. And I don't believe that anyone owes it to other people to always keep giving the best case scenario. What, so that you can make them more comfortable in a conversation? If they're your friends, they're going to be okay with giving you a hug and comforting you. They should be. And it might not make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside to ask you how you are and you say not good, but it's what you owe yourself. And I guess I just also wanted to say that the first time I posted a video where I was really open and honest about my injury struggles. At that time, for me personally, I didn't have a lot of hope, and deep down, I knew that I needed more treatment. I either needed a miracle or I needed more treatment because things were just not going as they should. And yeah, it got better. My progress like kept going like this, which I'm going to tell you is very normal. People don't tell that to other people who are injured. It's like people are on Instagram, big dancers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, on their freaking Bosu balls. Like, that's all the rage these days. I'm just being really honest here. I'm getting tired of it. Like, people are balancing on those half balls. They're called Bosu balls. They flip it over, stand on the hard side, and like they're in point shoes or something nuts, and they're like 5 months post-op or something like that, or they're just showing off. And I think it's great, it's inspirational, whatever. But if you're injured, I think if you have people following you who are trying to relate to you, it's very unhealthy to keep promoting a culture where we're not honest about how hard injuries are. They're very hard. And I just want to be kind of, I don't know, sometimes it feels sacrificial in a sense. I'm not trying to build myself up, but I didn't really want to make this video. I was a lot more open to the idea last time. It felt more right for some reason, even though I have more good news this time, I guess. But the thing is, what's hard about sharing is that I've been sharing with you guys the first time my really, really hard, you know, hitting rock bottom point. And then I shared an update where I was doing better. And that was true. I'm not lying to you. And I did what I said I was going to do. But now here I am again. And if I wasn't more at peace with what was going on and what is going on, and I guess more sure of myself and where I'm confident I'm going to be going, because I'm very confident I will dance again and the best is yet to come for me. If I wasn't more sure of that, I don't think my pride could handle telling you guys that I'm kind of back down again. Now, I don't want to say down. I think this is the leverage I need to like beat this thing. And I'm so thankful that my surgery was not reconstructive. It was very simple. It was the best case scenario. If you know what this is, they were also considering doing a lateral release on my knee to help the kneecap track better. They didn't even have to do that, and I'm so thankful. Yeah, so things are going well for me. Things aren't looking the way I thought, but that's life. So I just want to share that with you guys and encourage you that if you're going through a hard time, that you need to do what you need to do to get better. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Let people in and know that you are normal if your recovery process is not linear, if it's not perfect. If, like I said in my last video about this, your doctor says, okay, it'll take 4 to 6 weeks to heal, and day 1 of week 4, you're upset because you're not better. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be a pessimist, but be realistic and really take this time to see the good in it. Just one of the most amazing things that happened in my recovery is seeing, I mean, I said I wasn't going to get emotional, and I'm not going to cry about this, but it's just so, it has been so beautiful to see that in my weakness, people have come around me. And I guess I will cry because I'm not going to fight it if that's how I feel. It's really so beautiful how people still love me if I'm weak. And if things don't go perfectly, the best case scenario, people are still there because they care about me and they will care about you, your people. So don't think that you're less than if you're injured and things aren't going perfectly for you. I mean, I just want to sit here and tell you that even though this has been one of the hardest years of my life, sitting here not being able to dance right now, I still, like, it almost makes no sense. I have more hope and more assurance that I will fulfill my dreams and even have the right to have bigger dreams than I did when I was fully healthy. When I was fully healthy, there was something where I was just enjoying the dream I'd finally accomplished so much, just dancing in a professional company. I was so happy that I almost say I turned into a coward. I stopped dreaming bigger because I thought, what if it doesn't get better than this? What if I don't dance after this year? Like, I stopped buying, not that you need to buy dancewear all the time, but like, I didn't want to buy new things because I thought, what if I stop dancing next year? What if I don't get another contract? What if something happens? Like, I let my hopes die because I realized that, well, now I realize that hoping is scary. Hoping is extremely vulnerable. Having dreams is something that brave people do. It's what brave people have, okay? Now, our dreams can look different. I'm not saying that I'm better than someone who has their dream as a hobby and not as a, like, 9-to-5 thing. Not saying that at all. But no matter what your dream is, even if it's doing, like, pottery a couple times a week and not as your job, don't be afraid to hope for it and to go after it, because at least if you hope and you don't achieve what you're hoping for, the worst thing that happens is that your feelings get hurt for a little bit and then you move on. But you don't have to live for the rest of your life saying, I wish I went for it. I wish I pushed a little harder. And I fully believe that your expectations create your reality. So if you stop hoping and you stop expecting, you might as well stop now. And that's how I am. That's where I'm at right now, not being able to dance. I know I'm going to be better. And I know that I'm going to be stronger than ever. And I'm going to enjoy dance more than ever before. Even though when I was healthy, I was even enjoying it so much. And dancing is something that just brings me so much joy already. So having a taste of not having dance anymore, like, how much sweeter is it going to be? Really amazing. So in this time, my steps moving forward are to really work on my mind, because I realize, and I'd actually love to make a whole lot more videos about injuries, or dealing with an injury, so I might do a separate video on one of these things I mentioned. But I think I need to work on my mind a lot, because I'm remembering all the grit I had when I was finishing out the season in so much pain this spring, not really fully acknowledging what was really going on with my body. I was just in denial, just getting it done, smiling, dancing every day, not really able to push all the way because I was, like, physically incapacitated. I was in a lot of pain, but I made it happen. And that's amazing. It's like the second I had my MRI results read to me, I started to baby my knee, you know, which I should have done. It needed to heal and I needed to stop. I needed to do something that was healthy for me. But I realized I've been in this recovery mindset for so many months that I need to get back to that hardcore Kirsten who was just like, this is what I'm doing. This is my dream. This is what I said I'm going to do today, so I'm doing it. And I think that's what's going to pull me through the next couple weeks of getting back into the studio. So yeah, moving from the injury recovery mindset to the, okay, full force, taking no prisoners mindset one more time. Like, my body is going to obey me, because it will. That's what I know is going to happen. And yeah, so that is my update. Just telling you guys that, yeah, I did get surgery. I feel like I needed to acknowledge it, and yeah, I felt like that's something I really needed to do on this channel. Not because I love just exposing my life to the internet. and putting that out there, because ultimately, yeah, it's my business, but I just imagine, even if not right now, like one day I see myself being fully out of this, like it never even happened, fully happy and dancing and all that stuff, and being out of it and knowing that I made it out okay. I know I'm going to be able to comfort a young dancer who is just like me, and I really can't wait for that. So guys, thanks for sticking through till the end of the video. I really hope that for you, those of you who are still going through injuries, you got some sort of encouragement. Not that it's really encouraging to know that I'm not fully healed, but encouraged that I will be. I know I will be, and this is what I needed to do. And I just hope it's encouraging to you that you can see that someone's progress can look like this and they still make it out okay, because that is normal. I'd say it's, I mean, I maybe for minor injuries or something like that, people just heal and nothing goes wrong and they just get back to their full strength, but don't let the Instagram videos fool you, okay? So I'm here for you guys if you want to talk, and I know a lot of you guys are just so kind and wonderful, and you're going to post really nice comments. So if I don't get to those comments, I don't get to respond, know that I read them, and I'm extremely blessed by you, and I'm so thankful for you. So yeah, I'll finish now because this is getting really long, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.